Us now, I have Terry Adamson, who is a friend and a former personal attorney of President and Mrs. Jimmy Carter. For decades, he serves on the board of the Carter Center now. Terry, thank you for joining me this morning.
It's great to be here, and I love that intro you just gave for introducing the president.
Wasn't it special? I mean, to just listen to that voice. He'll be missed for sure. You know, we all knew this day was coming, right? It was just a matter of time, but it still feels surreal. It still manages to take your breath away, and most of us didn't have the pleasure of knowing him personally. How did the news hit you yesterday?
Well, actually, a little relief that he died peacefully and as he wanted to at home.
Mm-hmm. Take me back to the origins of your friendship with him, because you knew him long before he became an international figure, correct?
That is correct. We met 62 years ago. He was in the state senate of Georgia, and I was a high school senior. And then our lives had several different iterations after that, where we did things together, not always on the same side, as he often reminded me. But then I served in his administration, and then after he left the White House, I had the real honor and privilege to become his and Rose's lawyer on a particular matter, and then thereafter on a lot of other matters, and then became a counselor and really deep friend.
Yeah, you have a lot of shared stories with him, I'm sure. You know, he accomplished so much in office, but so much out of office, too. You know, so much of his legacy is tied up in who he was as a man outside of the White House. How do you think he would want to be remembered, sir? Well,
I think he would like that post-White House legacy to be seen a continuation of the legacy left as president. He, you know, when he was president, he had not been on the public scene a long time. And even though elected president, he wasn't as well known by as many Americans as he later became. They came to know him very well over the next years from 1981 to 2024, and learned to understand that what he talked about as president was the principle of the man that he and his wife, Rosie, were principled, dedicated Christian, dedicated to human rights and peace and service to others.
You know, you bring up Rosalind, and I like to think that they are walking hand in hand at the pearly gates right now together. Can you talk a little bit more about their relationship and their marriage on a personal level, and what you got to witness as a close friend?
Well, they were extraordinarily close, and she was a very powerful woman in that marriage. She held her weight, and everyone that dealt with them knew that she had opinions and ideas of her own that she pursued. And one of the, I guess, nice things, I don't know that word fits, but of her death last year was a chance to see her in her own right as a strong, independent woman, deeply devoted to her husband of 77 years. And we know, I think there was a cartoon by the editorial cartoonist of the Atlanta Constitution this morning of her greeting him at the pearly gates. Welcome home, Jimmy.
Welcome home. It seemed like they had a love story for the ages. And up until his final days, I mean, he partook in democracy. He cast a ballot, you know, this year in this presidential election. Do you have any idea kind of what he thought about modern politics and where things were? It is such a time of transition in Washington right now.
Well, he did believe in democracy very much, and he was very proud that he could vote in the last election. He was cognizant of a lot of things that were going on around him while he was in hospice. Right just before he went in hospice, he and I worked together on a brief that he filed to help preserve one of his great legacies as president, which was the preservation of land in Alaska for public use. And it was under some threat that some of the protections that he thought were in place when that law was enacted in 1980 were being eroded. And he stood up for that then legally. And on his own behalf, filed an amicus brief of Jimmy Carter to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit.
Yeah, it's just remarkable. A life rich in love and family and service. He's unparalleled. Nobody else like him. Terry Adamson, thank you so much. I'm thinking of you this morning as you look back on the shared memories with him.
A lot of shared memories. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.